Welcome to Mom on the Right. I said I wasn't going to do video. As you can see, I'm in the middle cleaning my house and I'm a mess, but you know what? Hey, whatever. I got something fabulous for you guys. It's David Almasi of the National Center for Public Policy and Research. And David wrote a very interesting story, and it shouldn't surprise you about Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is receiving a lot of backlash for their decision to pull out of, I believe, in supporting Salvation Army and Fellowship of Christian Athletes, I believe, David, right?
Correct. And a lot of other ones, including the Paul Anderson Youth Home, which is something that actually was started out by Chick-fil-A.
They didn't know that.
Yeah, and now they're going to be removing their support from that in the future. So it's kind of interesting that that's happened.
Now the backlash isn't ending. Now the not only from people that supported them, they feel betrayed, but of course this is not helping their cause, because the LGBT community is like, well, it's not enough now.
Exactly. I mean, who do they think that they're going to get? The COO who made the announcement on that in that web interview said that the company needed to define itself to its audience. Well, it has already been defined as a Christian company that has produced good chicken and kept in business while retaining their values. Now they're being seen by everyone as caving into the left, caving into the social justice warriors. And I don't think that you're going to see a single person that held a sign outside a Chick-fil-A restaurant saying it was hate chicken or it's oppressive. They're not going to go in and buy waffle fries now, but they are going to stop people like me from making the effort to go to the restaurant because it's not that close to my house, but I would.
Oh.
I'm less likely to now.
Really? How many people you think are like that? What do you think at this point?
Well, like in the case of my situation, it's about 5 miles away from my house.
Right.
If we were Saturday afternoon or something like that, we would make the trip. But there's a lot of restaurants in between our place and their place. And there's a Popeyes, which supposedly has a better chicken sandwich now. I don't think that they're not going to skimp on the quality of the food. They're not going to skimp on the quality of the service. They're not going to skimp on any of the things that you normally see at Chick-fil-A. But people like us who have valued that company for standing fast on their principles are disappointed. And so there's less of a reason to go there. We have a McDonald's by my house that they do a very good job as well. It's easier. I can get there in 2 minutes as opposed to 20 minutes. Right. So now Chick-fil-A has just given me that less interest in going to their restaurant. And I think a lot of Christians, a lot of traditional value supporters, a lot of constitutionalists who have supported Chick-fil-A, not just for their food, but for their stances, are going to be less interested in the future.
That's pretty remarkable. It'd be interesting to see, what their numbers would be in the next maybe 3 to 6 months. Because I don't think a lot of people are going to let this go, personally. Is there turning back from this, David?
Absolutely. I mean, Dan Cathy could just say, hey, this was a bad idea. This was an idea, I believe, that came not from the Cathy family, but from the people within the Chick-fil-A organization that are thinking with their wallets, that are thinking. I mean, the COO said that as they move into new markets, they need to show people who they are, who Chick-fil-A is. Well, by going in and saying, yeah, we remember that way we used to be Christian and all these things, that's not us. That's not us anymore. But the thing is, they want to get into a market like Washington, D.C. The mayor called it hate chicken, didn't want to help them at all. They're here. They're in Washington, D.C. now. Bill de Blasio did not want Chick-fil-A in New York City. Guess what? It's in New York City. It's going into Boston now. Sure, you can't take a Chick-fil-A truck to whatever, San Antonio airport or a campus of a college in Oregon, but eventually customer demand is going to bring it to these places. So I don't think they need to. I mean, people realize Chick-fil-A is the Christian chicken place, but they also realize it's the place that has really good chicken, the nice waffle fries, and the great service. But like I said, a lot of people are going to probably think twice about going there that are conservatives and Christians because of what they did, not because and there's not going to be a boycott, but I think it's going to hurt them in the long run.
Tony Perkins came out. He's not very happy about it. I'm sorry you saw that press release about that. And look, a lot of these people are figureheads. They have a lot of pull in the Christian world.
Mhm.
I know that Chick-fil-A, you say you think they're going to continue to expand. I mean, honestly, I can
Oh
get
yeah.
a cheaper chicken sandwich somewhere else. And to be honest with you,
Mhm.
I could go somewhere else, and it's unlike you. It's like kind of like out of the way to go to them.
Mhm.
But when I pass them, they're always still busy.
Oh yeah, and you're still going to see crowds there. But the thing is
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of people that everyone has a choice, and
right.
when they're told that they're not welcome there, then they're not going to want to go. And with Chick-fil-A, I mean, it's disappointment, and it's going to be like, geez, I used to love going there, but then they did this to us, so let's stay home or let's go to the other place. And that's going to happen. I mean, it's not going to be a killer for the company. It's not going to be like Dick's Sporting Goods where they lost $250,000
Right.
because of their gun decision, but
Right.
it's going to be, I mean, millions of people came out in 2012 for
Mhm.
Chick-fil-A Appreciation Day when the LGBT community took on the company and wanted to destroy the company. Millions of people came out, and here we are in 2019. And the thanks that people like me who went out, I went breakfast, lunch, and dinner on that day at Chick-fil-A, to know that the Salvation Army and the Paul Anderson Youth Home and the Federation of Christian Athletes is going to
Right.
lose their support simply because they don't toe the line of those same people who were protesting them in 2012.
Yeah, and I think it's a slippery slope, sir, too, because it's like this is what really ticked me off about the whole thing was that Christians can't have rights. Everyone else can have a right to their own beliefs. And that's why we're in America. You report on it extensively with your organization
Hmm.
on, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and so forth. So, why can't an organization, if they are a faith organization, say, look, we disagree with you. We don't hate you, but we disagree with, some of this morality right here. So how slippery is this? I mean, nobody's going to want to, you know,
Well,
it's a slippery slope, I
the
think.
biggest tell is after the announcement was made, the day the announcement was made, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation came out and said, yeah, well, thanks. But we also don't like your hiring practices, which I'm not aware of any discrimination in their hiring practices.
Right.
And we don't want you to give anything to the right. So they were saying, in particular with Tony Perkins, they don't want Chick-fil-A to have any affiliation with Focus on the Family or Family Research Council.
Right. Right.
And that's the thing. Every time a company gives in to the left, they get maybe a thank you, but they definitely get a list of new demands. And that's all that Chick-fil-A bought themselves here, was a new set of demands. The LGBT
Yeah.
community is never going to forgive Chick-fil-A completely, and our side now is skeptical of it. So it's a
Right.
lose-lose scenario for the company. That obviously someone in their business office thought it would be a good idea, but it's just not. It's no good upside to this as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And it's just like I said, I'm like, it's just a lot more Christians are just going to hide, because they're afraid to express themselves in any way of fear getting sued and stuff like that. And again, your organization has been very thorough and in so many ways in corporate America and exposing lies. So I thank you and I appreciate that. So I'm
Thank
personally afraid. I backed out. I thought about doing my own business, going into the coffee world, and I was like, you know what? I'm afraid. I'm really. Is this kind of a warning, a red flag to other organizations and people who actually want to be proud of their values?
Yeah,
Doesn't mean I'm discriminating, but this is what I believe. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
people respected. I mean, there are a lot of people certainly that hated Chick-fil-A and still will hate Chick-fil-A, but there's a lot of people that respected it. I'm not a huge Christian myself, but I
Yeah.
respect what they've done, and I
Right.
respect what the stand that they held. And I know when I'm talking to other
Yeah.
people in our movement,
Yeah.
it's a gut punch to them to see the one of the few companies out there like them and Hobby Lobby are the only ones that have really stayed true to their values.
Yeah.
And every place they go, they get dumped on because of their views. and yet they succeed. They're expanding businesses. Chick-fil-A is currently the #3 fast food chain in America.
I'm
They
behind Starbucks, right? Like just
Yeah,
Starbucks.
yeah, exactly. And Starbucks is the one that goes out there, and they're supposedly got such great values, but they've been outpaced by Chick-fil-A. But now Chick-fil-A is kind of, they're almost surrendering after they've gotten their victory.
I don't know. Maybe you can talk with them, sir. Maybe you can.
We have reached out to them, and we're hoping that we can get them to see the light. So yeah.
Well, we'll shine that light there. You know. So, no, sir. Thank you so much, Dave, for being with us, and keep us posted on it. And guys, please follow the National Center for Public Policy and Research. I mean, they do a lot of great things. I mean, they're protecting your rights. They're on the trenches, and David's one of them. Great staff, great PR team. I can't say, I just love them, and they're very informative. And David, I thank you so much, and enjoying. I know this in my messy house and my my green screen that was supposed to go up today, so in my mommy dirty bun here. The next time, I promise, I'll be more polished.
No, this has been great. I appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys, and thank you, David.
Thank you.